Fiance cheated on me with my father. Hey everyone, I'm sorry I haven't updated in a while. I wish I could say I'm doing great, but that would be a lie. Everything hits me in waves. I go from just being numb to boiling with rage. I haven't had a happy moment since I found out. Other than a few friends, I don't really have anyone IRL, especially since my family turned out to be trash. Quite a few things happened since I posted last. It's been about a month. So this update will tell all that's been going on. After my last post, I decided to get the ball rolling on everything that needed to be done, like getting tested, finding a therapist, moving, and of course buying a new bed. I started by calling my doctor's office, telling them I needed to get tested and to refer me to a therapist. I had my first appointment with a therapist 2 weeks ago, and we decided to continue once a week. I also got tested last week, but it'll be another week or so. So until I get the results, cross your fingers for me. I got in touch with a real estate agent friend of mine, and he sent me a ton of listings, and I decided on a refurbished cabin on the outskirts of my city. I finished moving 2 days ago. When I finished moving, I called Elle's parents. When they picked up, I told them I moved out, and Elle has still yet to pick up her things, and that the landlord will start showing the apartment in a few days. So someone better pick her things up before the landlord throws it out. That must have lit a fire under them, because the next day my former landlord texted me thanking me for getting the apartment emptied out. No one knows where I live now other than the friend who set me up with this place, so I know Elle or my parents won't be dropping by. The only thing that sucks about this place is I traded a 10-minute walk to work to a 45-minute drive. My phone has been blowing up with texts and calls from Elle, both my parents and some of my friends, but I have no interest in talking to anyone other than my therapist. At work, I've been a ghost. I go in, get my work done, and leave. On the rare occasion I have to talk to someone, I put on my fake smile and pretend everything is okay. My boss from my previous post has been trying to check in on me more, but I don't really tell her anything either. I just tell her I appreciate it, but I'll be okay. Truth is, I don't know if I'll be okay. I get that time heals and all, but I feel like that's only relevant when you're dealing with one issue, not when you lose who you thought were the 3 closest people in your life all at once. A huge part of me died, and there's no chance of resuscitating it. The meetings with my therapist are going well. I suppose I've never done therapy before, so I have no reference on what good therapy is. We do get along all right, and she really seems genuine in wanting to help. The first session was us getting to know each other and delving into what brings me to her. Nothing in depth, but me just telling her what happened in my own words. The second session, we went a bit deeper. She asked me about the relationship I had with my parents. I told her up until now it was great. We talked often and always communicated well when something was wrong, and that I grew up in a great home, but that all means nothing now. She asked why I cut my mother out of my life. I told her she said things to me I wouldn't say to someone I despised, then told her there's no way she can come back from that. At the end of our last session, I gave her the link to my page on here, so she can read more about how I feel and what's going on in my head. I feel like it's easier to type things out than it is to speak it. So, if you're reading this, hi doc. For now, I'm still miserable. I thought I'd be okay by now. Not necessarily happy, but okay. I know some of it is my own fault not communicating to my friends, but when I think about responding to them, it just seems so exhausting. I know they'll want to get together or come to my new place, but I just don't have the energy to be around them. Until I do, I'll work, go to my appointments, and sit on my back deck, sipping on some bottom shelf whiskey, and try to enjoy this beautiful view. I haven't hunted since high school, so maybe I'll take that up again now that I can hunt from my back porch. Now here's what I think. So I think that this is insane. It's crazy how someone can just betray not only the love of their life, but also how a father can do that to his own son. I give props to him for trying to find a therapist and work this out mentally, because this is something that is very difficult to get through. Guys, let's move on to story 2. I am 25, caught my wife F. 25 cheating. Need a bit of help processing this and figuring out what I should do. So, a little backstory. I have known my wife since we were about 13, never close, but got close by coincidence. We started dating when we were 16. We got married at 21. We have now 2 kids together, our son 5 and our daughter 3. I'm the sole income earner and make rather good money for what I do. Enough to live comfortably and support my family, plus save and take holidays. Towards the end of last year, I was going through a lot of personal issues, and I was laid off work for about a month due to some worksite issues. So I spent some time off work looking for another job, relaxed a bit, caught up with friends and drank, not over-the-top drinking, and would only drink at night, have a few when the kids were asleep. We had arguments about it all. I had secured the job I currently have around late November. Due to my work schedule, I would have to be up super early on New Year's Day, so we went to her parents' house to see the fireworks. My kids ended up falling asleep there, so she decided to stay the night and was going to be coming back the next day. I couldn't stay due to work, so left around 12:30. She did not come home for 3 more days, and I started to get the feeling something was off. A couple weeks went by, and one night when I had gotten home late from work, everyone was asleep as I would go in to give my kids a kiss and say goodnight. I was walking back to the kitchen when her phone lit up. I checked her phone and noticed an unusual notification, so I proceeded to look into it more. She has made a new account on her socials with a fake name and was talking to another guy. I went further down through the messages and saw throughout December she was talking to him also. Not just your average friendly conversation, but calling him babe, saying how badly she wanted to be with him, how she loved him but referred to me as her ex, and I was livid. I even saw that on New Year's Day, she had messaged him right after I left saying, "Happy New Year's, babe. I love you so much." According to their messages, they had arguments about jealousy and had split up. Sorry for not adding this earlier. He is a random guy who lives in another country. I had confronted her about it, and then the years started in saying she was sorry and all the typicals you would expect. Stupid me forgave her, but the trust was broken. But at the end of the day, I loved her. I had had girlfriends before her, but I have never loved anyone else. I mean, I literally grew up with her, got married, started a family and everything, so of course I forgave her. Fast forward till February. The feeling was back, so I started doing some snooping and found out she was talking to another guy on Snapchat, saying she was single, she doesn't have kids, she's 21, the guy's 20, and loves on the other side of our country, again, a stranger and all of that. I thought wasn't so bad and left it till the next day. That's when I saw the other chats she had with him, talking about how badly they wanted to be together and how they wanted to be intimate. Don't want to go into detail, but the messages were very detailed, even sending him photos in her lingerie. I confronted her about it again, where she swore she would stop speaking to him and block him on everything. As I was going away for work the next day for a few days, I could get into it that much. The next day, I had asked her if she had blocked him after ending it. She swore to me she did. I get home and I'm talking with her, telling her how much it's made me angry and how all my trust for her is gone because she betrayed me again. He messages her again. I was fuming. I told her I wanted a divorce and that I was done with her and that I can't be with someone who constantly lies. She didn't seem so fussed about it, but didn't want me to leave for the kids. I then messaged him, and she found out and started crying because he was angry at her for lying to him. She didn't cry over my head husband and the father of her 2 kids, and that was it for me. I packed up my stuff and left. She told me that she loves me, but she isn't in love with me. We have 2 kids together, and as stupid as it sounds, I'm still in love with her. I came back home after a month because I felt bad for my kids. But still to this day, she's messaging him telling me she isn't sending him photos and all of that, but there's no trust left. I don't know what we even are anymore. Technically, we are still married, but how can I be with someone like that? I still love her, but I can't be with someone like that. But I don't want to see my kids hurt over something their mother has done. Any suggestions, please let me know, as I'm feeling rather trapped, and it's messing with me mentally and emotionally. How can someone say they love you but be okay with you being sad and hurt to talk to another guy they haven't even met before? Oh, guys, let's move on to story 3. Betrayed by my 17M best friend, 16M of 3 years, and my girlfriend, 17F of 2. Me, 17M, my girlfriend, 17F, and my best friend, 16M, have gotten into a complicated situation. I was very comfortable with my best friend, as I'd known him for over 3 years, and I knew he was a loyal friend. As such, I was okay with him being friends with my girlfriend, who I've been with for 2 years. A few months ago, the two became good friends, texting and calling very often. This made me uncomfortable, and I let her know, which she got upset at. I understood her perspective. Later, she told me that she wants to have a 3-person cuddle session with everyone. I was uncomfortable, so I declined, but after a very lengthy discussion, I came to a compromise of the two cuddling alone. I trusted them both and understood her perspective to the best of my abilities. My best friend is extremely lonely and has never had a girlfriend, but I trusted him to be loyal, as I'd known him for multiple years. I also trusted my girlfriend to not make any advances, as I'd known her for multiple as well. However, after a bit, I decided I did not want her to cuddle whatsoever and wanted to keep it special for us. I told her that I'm okay if they talk to each other with distance, but my only boundary is that they do not go to each other's house. A week after, she was home alone and invited him. He went. I broke up with her the very next day, to which she cried and pleaded to find a resolution. She told me she'd block him and that I'm the only one for her. Reluctantly, I gave her a second chance. She went and told him the situation and told him I'm uncomfortable with them even talking to each other. I trusted that they both would respect me and my boundaries. A few days after, they kept talking. She said he's one of her only friends, so I slightly understood but maintained my distance. They started meeting up in real life again, going on walks, and going to our date spots. This disgusted me, and I told her that she showed me that she can't stay true to her words, and I cut her off for good. I also kept a large distance with my best friend. They both knew I would be hurt by this, and still went through with the actions. Both of them knew. I was enraged, but I kept my calm and showed no emotion to either of them. I give them smiles when I see them. It takes a great deal of patience for me to do, but I know it's what I'd want myself to have done looking back a few years later. She's done many upsetting things, but I try to not give a reaction while telling her to respect me and to leave me alone. Hugging and kissing me while I'm talking to other women, or wearing his jacket while trying to hug and kiss me. Just a few days after the breakup, I found out that they're dating and having fun time. This set me off, but I kept it contained within my room. I meditated and calmed down before making any choices. I told the friend politely that I do not wish to continue our friendship. My ex has been blocked already, so not much changed. I can't say I'm surprised, but I'm left with many emotions that I don't know how to handle. Mutual's friends tell me that they don't seem to show any remorse or guilt. They also told me that they're expecting me to apologize for telling others, friends, adults, about the situation, and by not setting my boundaries clear enough. This just doesn't sit right with me. She also denies that she cheated, as she only had sex after the breakup. I'd really appreciate it if anyone can tell me how to move on from this situation. Is there any mistakes I should avoid? Anything I should be doing now? Right now, I'm focusing on clearing them out of my life and focusing on myself. I don't want revenge. Thank you.